Hi, what's up? How are you doing? Yeah, I'm doing great. Enjoyed the long weekend and now preparing to do some recreative soldering, so to say. And I'm running a bit out of space. Let me see where I can put all this stuff first. So I'll be working on 2 or 3 PCBs tonight or this afternoon. And that's this one, the phono amp, the tape amplifier, and then I think this is also one of the amplifiers or filters, I'm not quite sure. I have to read the manual a bit. But before I can do anything, I have to tidy up. And put away all the tools I've used over the week to build smartwatches. And those are the remaining components. And I think I'm also going to start to print another watch case in the meantime. And let me search for the manual. So step 3, upgrading the amplifier boards. I've done that. Step 4 is upgrading the phono amplifier board, which is this step here. Let me show you. So I have to replace 1, 2, 3 resistors. 300, 305 and 308 is 300 is... Where is it? This one. Oops. 305. 303, 6. This one. And 308. This is 1, 2, 3 resistors. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 capacitors. So C 300, 303, 307, 8, 11, and 12 is, yeah, I think desolder all of them and then replace them with the right ones. 13 is the last one, and the transistors, which is 3, 1, 2, 3. Hi Titi, how are you doing? Mr. Technoturk, and hello Mr. VC Wolf. Welcome back and welcome to my live stream. Danke. So, also I need to get this out of the way. This is my hot plate, or my DIY hot plate. And yeah, also last week I fixed my code that runs on the hot plate to control the temperature cycle. I can move that into the frame a bit. First, let's get the smartwatch PCBs out of the way. And then I can show you. Look, so if I move the camera a bit, you can see better. So I'm gonna flip the camera also. So this is one of these hot plates that I've been using, and which is connected to 220 volts here, and is switched by an SSR, which is a solid state relay, and the solid state relay is switched by this circuit here. And yeah, I tried to use these beta-based coefficient temperature calculation algorithms, but it didn't really work for my setup. So this is just a thermistor I took out of the spare part bin for my 3D printer, and I designed this tiny PCB here on the back to connect everything. And so this is the TTGO module with a display and 3 buttons. What it does is reading the temperature and setting or disabling and enabling the SSR to switch the hot plate on and off, and to, well, estimate it with the PIT algorithm. And yeah, I will be showing that one in more detail, I think, during the week or later tonight, depending on how fast I progress with finally finishing this amplifier refurbishing. But I'm slowly getting the hang of it, so I'm quicker with every time I'm working on it. So, and I think, yeah, I still need to start the print and reload the filament here in the background. 1 second. Set the temperature to 220. And then I have to change the filament from yellow to silk white. This one here, because so this is, the filament is just basic white PLA, and yeah, it looks, yeah, there's enough light here that it looks kind of the same color as the straps here. But I will try again with the silky one. I think it's even closer to it and will look a lot nicer. And yeah, I could show you. Over the week I've printed 3 more cases, well actually 4. I can show you that one as well. So there's the blue one, the purple and the orange or neon orange. And I also printed yesterday this neon yellow. It's kind of semi-transparent like the purple. I still have to clean up the print. There's still some places where I need to clean up the edges and the oozing from all the travels. And yeah, depending on how quick we are fixing these boards, I will also build more smartwatch boards later on. So first, replace the printer spool here. And I'm printing the cases with a 0.2. Yes, I'm from Germany, sort of. But I live in Belgium, and I've also lived in Istanbul, but that's a long time ago now. So this is the roll I just removed, and this is, nope, scissors. Well, the problem with tidying up is I can't find the thing anymore, so we'll just go. Okay. I think I need another webcam that can show the printer at the same time in the corner. What do you think? But my guess is that VC Wolf, you are German as well. So this is a piece of cloth I'm using to clean the filament. You can see that on one side it gets a bit dirty, to make sure there's no dust going into the nozzle, which the 0.2 millimeter nozzle does not like. Hi Bastli, if I remember correctly, you're the one that raided me last time. Not 100% sure though. And if you have this tiny bit of Velcro strap, you can wrap that around the filament like so, and keep this here tight, which will clean the filament as it goes into the printer. Let's put that in place and push some through so I end up with the proper color at the end. And once more, and then I can start soldering. Wait, I have to catch up with the chat here. Are you working on all the boards at the same time? I will start with this one. Wait, yes, this one, and then one after the other. I think this one will take more time than the other two combined, and that's it. And I'm pretty sure that putting oil onto the cloth when printing TPU works, but I think that's kind of cheating. But if it works, so it doesn't matter. We will need this. And what else? So should I watch you study or watch your study for uni? You can do both at the same time. Pretend it's a radio. And this roll of filament can go back. Okay. Okay, let's go. Oh, how does this go? Soldering iron, power for the soldering iron, and step 1, clean up the desk is done. And I think I changed the camera last time a bit, and I will give that a try again, so you can see a bit better what I'm doing. So don't get surprised by the camera shaking a bit more now, because I attached something onto the... Wait, where is it? Here we go. Now it's on reverse. Let me flip it again, transform 2 degrees. Ah, much better. So now you can see from the perspective of the solder fume extractor, and I can move this around to where I'm soldering, and you can watch what I'm doing. What are you studying? Hello, Benson Electronics. Welcome to my stream. Wait, trying to see if I can watch the screen on my iPad so I can see what I'm doing and you're not out of focus all the time. That works. I'm following you on Instagram, no watches today. They're lying here next to me. I'll be working on the watches as soon as I'm done with this project. So it's a Sunday, so I feel a bit more like not non-complicated stuff. But depending on how it goes, and yeah, I think I'll just start soldering, and then I can tell you if it's in an hour or not if I'm starting on the watches. So what time is it? 6:20. So keep an eye on the chat. Not that I'm getting raided again by someone, and I did not respond to that because I can't really distinguish that in the stream. I'm not sure. So soldering iron is heating up, and I'm turning on the fume extractor now. Okay. I suppose you can still hear me because OBS Studio is set to noise cancelling, and I can't even hear the printer anymore. Just taking the first layer. That looks alright. Okay. I need to start to desolder things. So from this perspective, this resistor needs to go. It's the first one, that's R300. So I will turn this around, and I need one more tool. Ah, I found my scissors. I was looking for them a second ago. And one on the bottom right. No. No, I'm going to start with the capacitors first because they're in the way of getting out the resistors. And if system oops, and just seat out the legs and wiggle it from one leg to the next to get the component out. That's the first one. Second, this one's 308. I think all of those. Okay. Left leg, right leg, left, right, left, right. But although I'm soldering something that's not a smartwatch right now, you can still ask questions about the watch, so I can still discuss the project. I think I should be able to do 2 things at the same time. In the worst case, I'm going to burn myself. So I have a question to those who are watching. So I'm keeping an eye on all the amazing comments on Instagram when I'm posting about the watch, and on Twitter as well. Sometimes people ask about a heart rate monitor to be added as a sensor to the watch. So that's practically possible because on the back of the PCB I have the pads that I use to flash the first firmware. And as soon as the watch is built, and I have the 2 pins RxTX that can be used for I2C, and there's ground and 3 volts. Do you have an LCR meter? Like to see some measurements of the 40 euro caps? We can give that a try. I have one somewhere. The question is where? what I can also use is, oops, this thing. And I'm looking for the crocodile clips. And wait a second, this one doesn't have the possibility to measure capacitors, so that's a no. Yeah, I'll figure that out another time. I can't find the LCR4 module board that I have somewhere, and I'm not in the mood of searching right now. Yeah, I will keep track of those and look that up. That's a good question. Okay, that's all the capacitors gone. Now I need to replace all 4 transistors as well, so they're also going out. Just keeping an eye on how they're added into all this. Okay, the flat side is okay there. Yeah, this is exactly how it came out of the amplifier after 40 years. And you can see that this bit was poking out in the back, and you can see that the edge has been dusted off a couple of times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I'm getting better at this, so I only need to hold the soldering iron around 5 times against each transistor to get it out now. That's the 4 transistors gone, and now I have enough space for my clumsy fingers to get out the resistors. 300 is the one here on the bottom right. Ouch, that was a bit warm. Here I can show you. First question, what I'm doing, so I'm following these instructions here. I'm on page 7 right now from Data Electronics. It's a revision, so replacing all the capacitors for wear and also upgrading the circuit to reduce the noise a bit and improve the amplification for higher gain inputs for modern devices. I'm not a professional, so I'm basically following instructions and know from reviews that they're pretty good. And let's go back to the desk. Is there a reason? Yes, there's one. So the board you are working on now is filter module. This is the phono preamplifier. So the design of the preamplifier is itself 3 stages of amplification. The first is the phono amplifier, then which is fed into the tape amplifier, and then it goes into the radio amplifier. So the different inputs just select at which stage you enter the amplification stages. And worked a lot of solder pads by desoldering that way. I hope I didn't break anything, but I think I'm good so far. And where does and 305 and 308. It's those 2 here in the middle. And there was another question, is there a reason why you removed the backline from the current prototype? Yes. Reason number 1 was it took up space. And reason number 2 is that it didn't really work that good. So it was comparable to this tiny LED you have in the corner of the really cheap Casio watches, the FW91, I think it's, or F91W. And with this display, you actually don't need it. So there's always enough reflection, even if you're sitting in the car, to be able to read the display. So just by wearing it, I noticed I never needed a backlight, so I removed it. Makes it simpler, and was also running out of pins for getting the touch bezel here to work. Bezel or bezel, who cares? And wait, back to resistor R308. So that's that one. Once more. Oh, that's still not out. Interesting. Yeah, now it is. And also this one. 305 is exactly there, yes. So, see, first get rid of one leg, and then I can hold it with my fingers to get this second one out. So, first step, get out all the components, which is this lot here. And then next step is get the desoldering wire out. Whoop. Cut it into pieces, clean up the board, and then solder the new components. So let me check. Did I miss anything in the chat? No. Okay. And flux. So this one and those here. And I think, yeah, this one here. That's this pad and this pad. Yeah, I saw those, the videos of those. They look really comfortable, really quick and nice. But so I've only got 2 of these amplifiers, and I think I'm done with refurbishing all the amplifiers until then. So this one. Okay. So I'm going a bit closer under the solder fume extractor. So it's a bit more efficient. And let's see how we turn those copper things into a bunch of lead. No, I have to go back. Wait a second, I need to adjust something. So because I'm going to be pushing from that angle, this thing is going to tilt around a bit, so I'm just turning it around and move it backwards. Yeah, much better handling that way. Oof. Wait, I need to turn up the machine here a bit, so I hope you can still hear me. One more change. Yeah, sometimes have to like twist it at the back that the connection doesn't flake around or flip-flop that much. Sometimes when I plug it in, it immediately like resets and starts reheating because it's not connected properly. That's the transistors cleaned up, resistor, and another one here. Almost that around. Desoldering and cleaning up these boards is a really good memory test because you can see if you remember which parts you took out, and then you have to flip it in your head because you're viewing the PCB from the wrong direction. So what kind of application should I write first for the monochrono? A really nice compass application or an altimeter? So let's see. Yeah, I guessed this last one, but that also needed cleaning up. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4 transistors, 1, 2, 3 resistors, and then the capacitors 2, 4, 6, 8, 11. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And it's also only 9, so it's 2, 4, 6, 8 is 9. So I got all of those out. So the sensors, the monochrono is a really good barometer, thermometer. So the barometer goes here, is here on the back, and then it has compass here in the corner, and an acceleration sensor. And the new Open Smartwatch PCBs, which I haven't had the time to unpack them yet, that board will also have a compass, accelerometer, and the BME280, so it will have also a hygrometer, barometer, and thermometer as well. So let's get some alcohol to clean up the board. In C++, C++, yeah. Let's get some Q-tips. So step 1, get out the components. Step 2, remove the solder because we don't have the fancy machine. Step 3 is cleaning it up, and step 4 is soldering. But I will do some more cleaning up, I think, because I want to do a little bit better job here. So the power management IC is an MCP7383. Let me check. Where is it? Here, this one, MCP73871, which does the switching between input power and battery power and also charging. And so far, I'm quite happy with that constellation or configuration, I meant to say.
So if someone opens up this amplifier in another 40 years, I don't want them to find this video and see, okay, that's the guy who made a horrible mess. What liquid do you prefer for cleaning PCBs? I would go with isopropyl alcohol, isopropyl, you know which one. Isopropyl, blah, it's late. And I'm using methylic alcohol, but I prefer the other one because it's not that aggressive to your skin should you touch it by mistake. I have to admit, living in Belgium and being German or half German and mostly working with Germans at work, and then having all the things written in French or Dutch when I buy the alcohol methylique, I kind of forget what the correct pronunciation is. Yeah. Um, that might be actually true that the Belgians have the best beer. From what I've heard, that's correct. They have a lot more in variety here, so the shops here, there's hundreds of different beer brands, flavors, compared to Germany, where all you get is pills, basically, depending on where you are. And I think the Reinheitsgebot does not help to create better beers in Germany. So I'll need one more strip and then I'm happy with my cleaning job here. So if you have an SLA printer, I thought a lot about getting an SLA printer, a resin printer, but I don't have the space and I really don't like the amount of mess that you have to go through to get something. For example, with the basic extrusion-based printer with PLA, you can just leave the printer running and forget about it. And you don't have to clean it up and put everything back or make sure that the ventilation is 100% perfect. And let's see, yeah, okay, better. And hi, TMKDK, it's an old amplifier. SLS is another level. You can't argue against SLS, that's true. S400, S4 SMA. I mean, how strong are resin printed parts? Because from what I've read, the stuff can actually break a lot quicker than PLA-based prints. And one last round with the Q-tip. Depends on the resin and the curing process. You have to paint to keep the strength, or else we will keep hardening it. So for glasses or for a watch, actually that's not the best option, I think, because that without further processing. And this way. So now step 4, solder the new components. So first with the 3 resistors, because they're the smallest ones. I can turn down the weight and the smell. Strongest nylon, nice. Yeah. So 3 resistors is 2.7K and they wrote red, violet, black, brown, brown. Red, violet, black, brown, brown. It's this one. Red, violet, black, brown, brown. That's the first one I need. And 82K, 305, 308 is gray, red, black, red, brown. What? Gray, red. I think that's supposed to be this one, but there's only one. No. Please don't tell me there's only one. Where's the solution? Or the final picture of what they did? Gray, red, black, red, brown. Where's that? Gray, red, black, red, brown. Where's this purple? Okay, I'm missing a resistor. Okay. Who wants to send me exactly 182 kilo ohm low noise resistor? Okay, I have to order that one. Yeah, I can continue in any case. So, and let's continue with the 47 microfarad. That's those blue ones here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 2, 5, 6. 100 microfarad is
those two, and 470 is this one, and the 4 BC 550. Okay, resistor first. The first one was red, violet, black, brown, brown. That's this one. And only one of those for now. I have to wait until I've ordered the missing part. So I ordered a kit and I put all the components from the kit into this bag and into this tray, and when I was going through it to find it, it was missing. Can't rule out that I dropped it, but I don't think I dropped it. Unless I made a mistake on one of the previous PCBs, but I will check that after the stream. You don't have to wait for that. I have to increase the fume extractor again. And it's the first. And I will do the transistors next. I have to bend the legs a bit first. No. Yeah, 10K does not sound like DIY anymore. That's correct. I mean, I'm printing all the watch cases on a 120 euro printer, plus a bunch of mods. I guess the mods make the difference then. 0.2 millimeter nozzles and 0.1 millimeter layer height. And the top half takes around 1 hour and 10 minutes to print, the bottom 1 hour and 30 minutes, I think, with 100% infill. Those 3 resistors bent into shape. Do you have the STL files for your watch on Git? No, I don't. Well, first of all, I'm not done yet with the design. And second, I'm a bit hesitant of releasing everything on Git at the moment, especially the PCB files. I published a new framework for the OS store on Friday on Git, the Cron OS, which will make it a lot easier to develop ESP-based watches or anything that has a screen and sensors, because that's generic framework code that can go as open source on GitHub. And let's check this one's right. The third one. Now you can see. Watch. Yeah, I lifted the pad there a little bit. Techno-Turk was right about lifting pads the way I desoldered all those components, but the trace is still alright. So, time to bend the legs a bit first. So what happened with your on-cue amplifier? Did you get zapped or full restoration on caps? Okay, I can relate to that one. 303 and Pt.3 or get new 47 microfarad capacitors. Enjoy your beer. Okay. Now all I need to do is insert those and make sure I get the polarity right. So plus is always on the top. That makes it pretty easy. Not 100%, but we'll see how it goes. Actually, that's pretty good already. And remove the legs. I've also guessed the Norwegian beer does not cost the same. Wait, shit. Talking about plus and minus, I got the first 2 in the wrong way around. Because plus is not minus. But that's an easy fix and already fixed. Yes, I have some small speakers for this. I used to have, so this is the amp that I had when I was, I think, from age 11 until I was 16, I used this amplifier. And I used it with electrostatic speakers. And let me check the link that we sent. So I used to export electrostatic speakers. Where is those? I used to have these. I find I copy and paste into OBS. So I used to use those speakers with the quad amps, but the panels were so old and floppy, is I think the best description, that when I was listening to music loud, for example Rammstein,
the electrostatic membrane would touch the frame and cause sparks to fly out of the speakers. That was actually kind of fun. Okay, and 2 more of those. And I think when I'm done with this PCB, I've had enough of restoring amps for today. I will solder a smartwatch PCB. So I will do that in 15 minutes or so. But I will stop and start the stream to force Twitch to list it as two separate videos to relabel the video, and I think it's easier to find the content if it's not all in one huge stream like that. And I will also use the microscope so you can see what components I'm placing in where a little bit better. 301 and 302 is the 100 microfarad capacitors. More legs to cut. I almost bought a set of Martin Logans. Well, Martin Logans are nice. Which ones? This looks alright. Those actually don't need bending. This capacitor is big enough for this place here. Plus also goes to the top right. One more capacitor and then it's smartwatch time. And that's that. And I still need to order one spare resistor. I can finally turn off the solder fume extractor because that noise is getting on my nerves a bit, but it works too good not to use it. Yeah, that's all the capacitors replaced, and 2 resistors and the transistors according to the manual. Thanks. So let's put this away, clean up the desk again, put the camera back in place, solder fume extractor out of view, and the other 2 boards I will do maybe next weekend. We will see. So, yeah, it's annoying to be honest that the resistor is missing, but what can I do? Solder a smartwatch instead. Tiny stuff first. So I have to clean this mat here because it's full of flux. I will stop the stream now and I will start it again in a couple of minutes. I will take a break and then I will continue soldering the smartwatch. So see you later. And thanks for watching. And yeah, see you in a bit. I have to eat something also, and then yeah, I will be opening this box here for the first time and solder the new open smartwatch PCBs. Let's see how that goes. There shouldn't be any components